The Chicago Bears go into Detroit's Ford Field and score 21 points this afternoon, but they are more than doubled with that score by giving up a 50 burger with 52 points given up in the loss to start the season 0-2. Here are the thoughts of the panel today, of the entire crew who is in the house on this embarrassing, humiliating, depleting, deplorable, just all around sucky performance from the coaching staff on down to the players. Plenty of blame to go around on this discombobulation of a game day. So come on back and hear the thoughts of the crew today on the post-game wrap-up on Sports Chicago Style.
Sports, 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 Chicago style, for me and you.
Welcome to Sports Chicago Style. Please take a moment to subscribe to the channel and like the video. If you are unaware, over 80% of our viewers are not subscribers. What's up with that? Please rectify the situation and subscribe. Much appreciated. Today's game, Chicago Bears visiting Detroit and stinking up the joint from beginning to end. There was a lot of inopportune, momentum-killing, self-inflicted penalties. There was a very, not blaming the refs, but what the actual were they doing on some of those calls? I mean, there was a lot of, I would say, uncalled holding on the Bears' defensive line that they did not call on the Lions' offensive line. Okay, cool, call it both ways, your reference, but they didn't. There was the that's gonna go down, I think, in infamy as one of the weirdest calls that we've ever seen, which is right there before halftime. The Lions complete a pass inside the 5 or wherever it was there on the field, and it looks like the receiver comes down inbounds. You know, his leg touches, his elbow touches inbounds, and he's touched by the defender. And so the clock should have kept winding, which it did. They went up to the line of scrimmage to snap the ball quickly to try to stop the clock, but they weren't unable to do it, and the clock read 0. And so the Bears started heading to the locker room, and then they were like, hold up, wait a minute, let me put some flag in it. And so the referees, I guess, ruled, because it's still unclear to me, but they ruled that he was out of bounds after making the catch, and they're going to put time back on the clock at 6 seconds, even though they let him back at 6 seconds, giving them time to obviously get a touchdown. So it went from going into halftime, okay, we're still down, as a team, can fight back, to being, okay, we're still down as a team, but have to fight back that much deeper, harder. But that was not why they lost the game, I don't think. That was just a very odd moment there in the game with the officiating and you're giving up points right behind it when you should have been into the locker room. So it's going to be a thing, I'm sure, of discussion throughout the weeks, months, years to come as one of those, what the hell kind of play was that called? But yeah, lots of that to go around. But I don't want to dwell on that thing because there's plenty to dwell on and go around from, Caleb Williams, how do you throw that pick? I understand you may be trying to make a play, but at that point, I throw it out of bounds. You got another down. You can come back. You don't have to get it all there because you're ad libbing. But DJ Moore got blamed for ad libbing last week, but then you're ad libbing now, and it's like, just don't ad lib, just throw it away because that wasn't even close. So whatever the ad lib was, be on the same page with your receiver if you're gonna do it, because you can't be doing one thing and he's doing another, and it's like, oh well, that's okay, but no, that's not good. And then Coach Ben Johnson, you said you were going to address the running game. Was that all smoke and mirrors for the Detroit defense, for them to hear and be like, well, they said they're going to run the ball, so prepare for the run. Because guess what? You didn't run the damn ball. And garbage time runs don't count, to pad the stats for the rushing numbers. What are we doing with the running game? Because without the running game, there is no running game. And there is no play action, which is a huge part of this offense, no? And then when in shotgun, the offensive line did a better job of picking up the stunts and the blitzes, but they still did a horrible job of getting beat in their one-on-ones. Looking at you, Braxton Jones specifically, who also may have gone out with an injury because during the garbage time at the end there, all the remaining four starters won the offensive line and out there, but Braxton Jones was not. So don't know if that was a play, sit your ass down punishment, or did he get dinged up some kind of way? To be determined this week. Receiver wise, they were getting open there. There were some drops, there were some nice catches. DJ and Rome. Rome had a nice day, but he also had a couple drops. So there's that. The tight ends were not on the field. Oh, no, they were on the field. They just were invisible in the offense, so not really sure what's happening there. Defensively, before I hand it off and to the panel, they gave up 50 points, so enough said. And I will now hand it off to the panel. So start us off, Coach Tripping, your thoughts for today's game. Thank you, Trip Lar. For all that is holy, what the hell did we witness out there on the field today, right? None of these players and or coaches and or management, looking at you again, Ryan Poles, should receive their weekly paychecks this week because they're stealing money if they do, right? I do not understand game plan wise. What the hell are we doing out there? The short, quick game? Okay, fine. But where is the commitment to the running game? Whether it is successful or not, there is no commitment there. Looking at you, Coach Ben Damn Johnson. On the defensive side of the ball, you gave up 52 blasted points. Defensive line, right? Linebackers, secondary. What the hell is going on out there, defensive Allen? Oh, excuse me. Defensive coach Allen? What? I am breathing and doing my breathing exercises as not to rupture a damn blood vessel because this is unacceptable. This is embarrassing as a franchise, as a team, and as a fan base, right? This should not be allowed to stand. My breathing exercises are not working because this franchise, until they sell the team, will be the same cycle of shit. This is my fear, right? I don't like to have it, but they are showing me nothing otherwise. What are we doing? Chef, take it away. Thank you, Coach. Today's game was indeed an ass-kicking embarrassment from the top down. We see that the skill positions of the running back and the defensive end slash edge are lack of top talent. Not to say that DeMontez Sweat is bad, but he is not the top tier talent. We need the players in those positions that can be game changers and be dominant. And we do not have that. We do believe that we have that in the wide receiver room and possibly in the tight end room, but we are not sure because we are unable to get the ball to those positions and we are unable to run the ball, which would help to get the ball to those positions. The coaches were out coached basically. The prepared scripted plays went well, but when it's off script, the coach Big Ben Big Johnson's, who was a tiny limp Johnson today, I'm just saying, and the Dennis Allen, who was also quite limp, to continue the analogy, if you will, they were not good when the chess match came down to the other coaches, and this was supposedly one of their strong suits. The team did not look like they were prepared and coached very well to handle the adversities, and veteran players and young players alike were getting burned all over the field on defense. So the problem with the talent is there, the problem with the coaching was there, and the problem with the players and the execution was there. It was all a bad day. And normally I love the burgers, but not the 50 burgers when they are put on my team. That is no good. But now, before I hand it off to Trip, let me give you my standouts of the week. Chef Trip's standouts of the week. These have been Chef Trip's standout of the week. There were none, spoiler alert, after the fact. Now, let me show you the donkeys of the week. Chef Trip's donkey of the week. Ryan Poles. Both of the offensive and defensive coaching staffs. The defense. These have been Chef Trip's donkeys of the week. And as you can see, that is everybody. Because when a team gets their asses handed to them like they were today, that is a problem from the top all the way down. Now the question will be that it was not only a loss or a loss that you caused yourself on the prime time in the bright lights, but now here on the regular lights on the Sunday afternoon in the not prime time, this team was not ready as well. So now this is real adversity. Getting your ass kicked on a regularly scheduled game, another game in the division. So now we have to prepare, and this team has to get ready for the Cowboys. It will be tough to move on, but how they respond will say a lot about their character and development going forward. What do you think, Trent?
Yeah, bro. Thanks, Chef. I don't know what like my feelings are right now, cause I'm highly upset, and I'm agitated, but I'm remarkably calm after seeing like my squad, my team that I've been a fan of since I can ever, and they gave up a 50 burger, bro. And so I I'm just numb, bro. And on offense, it's like Gizmo. He was cool, but like he was trying to make a play, and it was like a pick. But the issue, bro, becomes more of like shooting yourselves in the foot still with inopportune penalties, and then and then uh, and then the running game, like they said before, it wasn't there, and bro, I don't know, bro. It looks like this team was just kind of like whatever, and and I know that like the they was out there fighting and battling, and putting the physical stuff on the field, but bro, next man up, and like that next man can't suck. So it's like the coaches. It's like did they call and to put the players in the position? No, because it was horrible, bro. It was ass kicking, and so yeah, bro, we got our ass kicked today, bro, and it has to get better, right, bro? Right? I mean, right? Right? Triple R, go, bro. Just go.
Thanks, Trip. Thank you, Coach Tripping. Thank you, Chef Trips. Yeah, it was a rough one. There's organizational finger pointing blame to go around top to bottom. But of course, there's going to be a lot of fingers pointed when you lose in such a fashion, growing pains or not. But it's time to wash this loss out of your hair and realize it's just 0-2, and that we can get better from here as the team prepares to play the Dallas Cowboys, who are 1-1 off of a overtime victory today over the Giants. 64-yard field goal kicked by that Dallas kicker, and he had room to spare. That's a leg, nice. But hopefully we don't have to taste too much of that leg. No diddy. So yeah, that's the next game up on the schedule. We have a week of explanations that I'm sure we're going to be hearing from Hallis Hall of we have to get better. There's a lot of that going on, looking in the mirrors and each other in the eye, and manhood and respect the game and all that, all those cliches and buzzwords we will hear, but it only makes a difference if you show and prove on the field, which we won't find out till next week. But before we get to that point next week, make sure that you are subscribed here on the channel at Sports Chicago Style, which is also the name of the website, and our social medias, I think for the most part there. Yeah, Facebook, Twitter, Blue Sky, Instagram, as well as the channel here on YouTube. Yes, thank you. And also make sure you are subscribed, please, to Shade Trips with Chef Trips. At Chef Trips, if you will, here on YouTube as Chef Trips is, branching out, spreading his wings with his own channel for his video recipes. And then Trip Kundo as well. Are those graphics made up for that? Can we put those up as well? With Coach Tripping and Trip for their self-defense mobility exercise thing that is still in production for some reason. I don't know, but they're on it. They're on it. And also the QR codes on the screen there for you. For the Ko-fi and the Patreon, should you want to support the channel Sports Chicago Style in that manner. All right. So with all that said, please be on the lookout for our next video together, which should be the Dallas Cowboy preview, pregame, pre-show. Yeah. Coming up in a scant few days as we prepare for the next game and hope that the team does not go 0-3 to start the season. That would be bad, okay? Growing pains, growing pains.
growing things.
So thanks for watching, and be sure that you are caught up on our previous videos. And then until we see you next time, bear down.
Bear down, bro.
Bear down, everybody. Bear